Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. I have another twin journal pack, and this is pack number 3. This is my final bundle for the larger journals. And at the end of this video I'll share with you the smaller style journals just very quickly that I will be putting up in my Etsy store as well. So these journals are a little bit different, and someone asked me why I'm selling them at such a reasonable price and why I haven't done much inking or coffee dyeing. Remembering that these were meant to be sold for the local market where I live, and it was an introduction to a lot of the people that are out here that have never heard of journals or aren't familiar with them if they have heard, and they have sold really well. But because I'm not going to the markets, and I don't want to alter these, because some people might not like a lot of embellishments. Some people might just like a plain journal with some colour, bit of interest, and just something for themselves without being over the top. And I know I'm one of those that can make a journal, into a crocodile mouth journal. And as you all know, at the moment I'm right into this grunge, and I think I've found my way after a couple of years. I'm not sure, but I still like my shabby chic, but at the moment I'm just going to do what I'm doing. And that's why I'm selling these, because they're no use sitting on my shelf at home. I can look at them as much as I like. I'd rather be able to have someone use them and get joy out of them themselves. They are made in a smoke-free environment, and they are made with a lot of love. I put a lot of thought into these, and that's why I'm selling them at the price. And yes, and they're affordable. Okay, so you can either keep one and give one to a friend for Christmas, or keep both. It doesn't really matter. But that's my take on it, and I just thought I'd put it out there because I've been asked. So it's not that I'm selling them cheap because they're made cheap. They're still made, in a nice, crafty way with love. So, and that's why I'm selling them. All right, now, enough with that. Let's start with this one. Love this fabric. I had about a couple of meters of this, and I'm slowly getting to the end of it. Yes, it just lends itself to a lot of style of journals that I've been making. And it is also then topped with part of a tablecloth doily. And of course, when you have a scissors in your hand, you just cut away. And of course, I've cut it up in big pieces, and this is one of the big pieces. It has a book plate, a little paper bow that was gifted to me. The signature is sewn in, and here I've got some buttons that I crocheted around quite a while ago and topped them on with little buttons. I'm just going to see if you can see that. Okay, little buttons just there, little vintage buttons, especially this one here. I like how that, can you see the little texture in that little star? And it's attached with a bulb pin, so you might want to take it off if it's in your way. That's fine. A beautiful narrow soft organza ribbon is the tie, and at the end is a lovely brown glass bead. Sorry ladies, brown glass bead. Book plate is made from, the backing is of the fabric from a vertical blind, a bit of cardstock, and again some more of the fabric. And I printed these out a long time ago, and then just popped on a couple of coloured rhinestones on there. So let's venture inside. It's a soft cover, mushy cover, and book corners, and stitched on as well. And I do believe this was on some old cardstock. I attached it. Here I've got an Australia Post, I might just zoom back out again, Australia Post envelope, and I've attached it on there to make it a pocket. And a little journaling card, collaged, as usual, dressmaking paper. I made this quite a while ago, and no, it's not. It's a McDonald's paper bag. there's the colours and the yellow, because I didn't, did I use, I must have used some dressmaking paper there. Anyway, a napkin, down to earth, a little snippet of the fabric, and stitched around it. So, and that's a, was a plain card. And then I've just stitched some, because there was writing on this envelope, some coffee dyed paper on here as well to journal on. Here I've made a little scrappy little piece on corrugated cardboard, button, bit of doily, edging of a doily, book page, and the fabric. And here's just a little journaling card. Now this here is drawer lining paper that I actually coffee dyed. And because it was quite long, I folded up to make a pocket. And I think this came out of a gardening magazine. Yes, page 91, wherever that was. Must have been about lawns. And I just add that onto here. Coffee dyed papers in here. And I had a piece of doily. It's actually, no it's not. Yes, it was. And it was already that colour. So you'll find it at the other end. And I've made that into a flip and a little journaling card, some beautiful magazine botanical pictures there. Isn't this lovely? I'm going to plant some of those in my garden. You can eat the whole lot and keep a lot of pests away, some of the between some of the veggies. Coffee dyed paper. Here I've made a book page pocket, decoupaged a napkin on it, stitched the book page onto the magazine paper that's on here, and I do believe have just a piece of paper in that side, and it's got two pockets in this. If I can get that back in there. Yes, it should go back easy. And I've got another pocket there, and here I've put in a envelope. Well, it's meant to be an envelope, but it's some cardstock that I had left, and I've just made it go into there like that, stitched on. Some more paper. This came out of a magazine. I thought, you know, I love that nice colour. Here I did my coffee dyeing. This paper is quite old and crinkly, and that was when I first experimented with a doily. And I stapled on a little banner so you can use that as a tuck spot. What have I got here? Just like that, so you can use that as a tuck spot. This is packing paper, some writing paper, quite a few pages of writing paper. The middle of the signature is open, and I've put a little dangle on here, and the signature is sewn in with embroidery floss. So there's plenty of writing space there for those that just don't want any of that. This is a paper clip, auto paper clip. Again, you know, you can use it or take it off wherever you like and put it somewhere else. And here's a strip of the drawer lining paper that was left over. Didn't want to waste it. Let's journal on it. Made a belly band here from that stitched on from the fabric, and here's an envelope. Coffee dyed. This is a magazine paper, book page actually. It was quite old and it was already that colour, but it's very thick. Here I've made a little book page envelope you just flip out and journal onto. Here's the nasturtium, the flower, mustard flower, and here is the doily, beautiful linen cloth. And here I've put on a little wooden button, okay, with a little applique snippet. And all it holds here, it holds a envelope. You can never have enough envelopes where you can put things in. I've got this camera located a bit further away, but further down. It's just so that I can sit down. Got a bit of a sore back today, I don't know why. Look at these beautiful daffodils come out of a gardening magazine. Aren't these gorgeous? But plenty of page 163. The tuck spot on the back. Best day ever. And here I've put some book paper onto a book page. And this came out of a tapestry magazine. Really, really like that. So I thought I'd use it as make a pocket. To a friend's house, the road is never long. So true, isn't it? So true. And it holds, you guessed it, another envelope. Okay. And that's the closure. Little organza ribbon. So these journals, it's one signature, and they have 15 pages. So that's 30 front and back, which equates to, well, yeah, you know what it equates to. But anyway, so there's plenty of writing space in that. They feel a bit smaller than the others, but they're not that much smaller. I think by about 1 centimetre. This one, have I got my ruler? Yes, I do. This one I do believe is 7 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which equates to 20 centimetres by 15 centimetres. So it's a good size and nice and soft. So that's number 1, and here's number 2. I call this my little happy little button journal. Had this fabric for a long time and I used it up, and what I did is I popped various coloured buttons on it to go with the whole theme of it. Lovely doily, bit of cardstock I made their book plate, and this was a magazine. This is a bit of tulle, it's a coffee dyed paper, and I actually wrote on a piece of cloth, believe it or not. I'm not the best hand writer. I don't know how I managed that because I done this a long time ago, and just glued on some flat back bead pearls just there, and I got some buttons on the back. Not too many because I wanted to make sure it stays flat. It has a beautiful blue sheer organza ribbon, and the dangle again is just buttons and beads with a little charm on the bottom. Let's see if I can do a close-up. Just like that. Okay. Button and beads, and you can take that off if you wish, in a little heart. So yes, book corners. Okay. And again, it's stitched around with a bit of a fancy stitch besides zigzag or straight stitch. Let's open her up. This is a nice, bright, fun journal, this one. Pocket. I've had some of this fabric. I've treasured this as well because it's sort of like real old fabric. It came from my grandmother's house, and I coffee dyed it. It's absolutely beautiful. I think I've only got a little bit left as well for my next grunge journal. So I've made a little pocket, and I've actually glued a little piece of paper on here. And what to do, there you go. You've got your to-do list in there. And this is very thick book paper on the inside, and the spine is enforced with some more of the fabric. Draw lining fabric here, paper, and I made a little pocket, and it's held together by a little jigsaw puzzle. There's a little rabbit. I'll just take that out, seeing it's not going to the market. So yeah, so you can journal on that. It was a template of a envelope, I think, and I've just cut it out of a magazine and put it in there. Now this journal does not have any coffee dyed paper. It's all white, clean, crisp pages. The pages are edged with some those eyelet lace, and I've actually sewed this on. Okay, so there's no coffee dyed paper in this. A lot of scrapbook sort of paper that I was able to get from local op shop. Little paper trim. Here is envelope, and here I've made a belly band. I think there's 2 envelopes in there. Got a bit carried away, but that's okay. And this paper came out of a magazine. I can't remember where it was from. Here's an index card and another place to journal on. Writing paper, some more pretty lace, and here I've just made a little snippet of the fabric that I had left over. Here I've glued on a out of a photo album. I just ripped out a pocket, or I should say cut out a pocket, and I've put in a little notepad. And this was in a magazine of donuts, movies and fun. Oh yes, Or don't we wish we could have one of those for a little while? So you can journal on that as well. And a little stamp. And this came from the States, this stamp here. Just going to see if I can... that just there. Okay. Did I get that close? There you go. Isn't that cute? Really, really pretty. So yeah, so this journal is quite different. There's a little flip up here where you can journal on. Just various colours, just to keep it all interesting. Pink paper doily, heart shape. Here I've made a Bunnings colour card. And here's a nice bright blue writing pad. And here's a lovely little cluster. I do believe this is still from Chrissy Phillips. She at one time sent me some fabric clusters. So yes. Here is a drawer liner, a coffee dyed, and I decoupaged a napkin on top of that. A little bit of wording, a little bit of flat bling there. Some more writing. And of course, whenever I have extra bits of papers that I've got to cut off, I cut them off with the fancy scissors and just use it as a trim on a page. Is that? Yep, that's it. Wish, whatever we're wishing for. This is quite pretty, isn't it? So I've left it like this and just tied the 3-stitch pamper stitch, just tied a bow in the middle. And this is a little stick notepad. And what it was, and I've just cut up little notes, writing lined paper to make a little pad. So it's not a stick note, it's a little notepad. Journaling card just on here. Live Your Dream. This came out of a magazine. I've backed it onto some music paper. This is drawer lining paper. Here I've made my little corner protectors with my 1-inch punch circles. I'm just going to show you, because someone asked me again the other day, and I've got a few that I've punched out here, and I'll just show you. I'll just use, I'll use 2 of the same, so it's not too confusing. I've got a 1-inch punch as well, which is smaller than this, and you just fold this. Make sure you fold this, I'm coming closer, you make sure you fold these in half, and this one in half, and they make great little page protectors. Okay, I'll just show you on here. Just say, for instance, I didn't want this folded, like open, I wanted to close it. Well, instead of just gluing it together, you can make a little feature out of it and put these circles on, just like that. Doesn't it look cool? So you put one on, but make sure it's really snug against the edge and point on the top there. And then the same goes with that one. And look how cool that is. And then you can do it on both ends. Just zoom out. And then you can do it on both ends, and yeah, and then you'll have a tuck spot. So that's how I use those. I should use them a bit more often. Paper, this was a paper doily, and what did I have there? Yes, and I photocopied it onto some other paper just to see what it looks like. You have my little handbag. You open that up, and you can actually journal in it. I made a whole heap of these. Don't use them. I don't know why, because they come in really handy. My little band in there to tuck it, and made this into a tuck. And then again, you can just journal on that. Just some notes. Just a little flip. Here's another magazine page, and I just covered it up with some paper, plain paper. My little belly band, used up my scraps. And what a wonderful day. And some journaling cards. It's a fun journal, and on the back you can see the other part of the doily. It's beautiful. And big journaling card, and I punched out a heart in there, mainly because so when you put it in you can actually see the colour through there. So yeah, so that's that's draw lining paper. So that's that little 2-pack. My last one in this large size. Well, not large size, but you know what I mean. And so they'll be going into my Etsy. And I'll just quickly show you my next lot that's going in Etsy. There are going to be a bundles of 2s as well. And I've made these little real little notebooks. They're really cool. Oh, I still got it back here. So they're all going to come into packs like this. I've used some beautiful fabrics. These fringes came from a now I've lost how did I go this? Oh yeah, came from a large sample furnishing sample folder. So they had all these fringes, so I've used them all up. So that's another one. And there's another lot, okay. These little things here, I've actually made little bags to put them in when I went to the markets, okay. So so that's what they are. So yeah, so that's what I'll be listing next. So I've got a few videos to do because I'm not sure how to put them in A, B, C's and D, so I'll have to do them separate because I've done it once before and I've mucked it up. So yes, but these will be going on very shortly. So by the time you've watched the end of this, I'll flick it over to Etsy. And yeah, so thank you very much for your support and welcome to my new subscribers. I hope you find my channel very interesting. It's a bit drizzly here at home today, but I've decided to do my weekends to concentrate on Etsy, my weeknights on crafting, and during the day gardening and cooking. Yee-hee. Okie dokie. Happy crafting. Bye for now.